Good evening, this is an MRT News Channel Alert Box News Special Reports, the General Staff Meeting Public Portion. Good evening, my name is Skelly Zopperman, the host, the anchor of the MRT News Reports, and I am also here to broadcast live the General Staff Meeting Public Portion, which is being hosted tonight by Frumple. Frumple, as owner of the MRT, is about to deliver his remarks on the General Staff Meeting, as well as the announcements from the Administrative Staff Meeting, which was held just before the General Staff Meeting. We are waiting for him to come out now in order for him to announce his things. So we will be doing that shortly. When Owner Frumple comes out, we will bring that to you live on MRT News Channel and the Box Television Network.
Hello.
Hi, Otto. Hello. How are you?
Good day. It seems that there is some activity setting up for Frumple's podium as we await the owner of the Minecraft Rapid Transit server to emerge to give his announcements. Please stay tuned here on MRT News Channel or the Box Television Network for more. It's currently being hosted in, it appears, the area of Los Angeles, although it appears the building we are hosting it in is owned by Trunk, the MPO which is founded by Castle a few years ago.
Oh, hey, Rocket Science, long time no see.
Why does everyone keep blocking off my view?
Yes, it's me. Who's this?
GSM will start in about 1 minute. Please meet yourself at this time in preparation for the meeting start.
Octopus 22.
Hey, yeah.
Actually, no, don't mute yourself, and then when we start, then just yell hi.
And then.
What if I don't?
Lol. That's funny.
Then what are you gonna do?
You've already
Well,
put Mario blocks around the Frumple.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, friend.
Hi.
Hello.
Bye.
Hello.
Okay,
How
you
are
guys
you?
aren't quite on stream quite yet. Just hold on here.
I love my mini fortress. I have no idea what's under it, so it might just as well be an AFK box.
Okay, stand by.
Stand by. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the public portion of the General Staff meeting for May 6th, 2018.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Internet.
How are you today?
Of
I'm
course, you have internet.
doing all right.
That's amazing.
All right, folks.
Someone here has a similar voice to me. Who are you?
Okay, I need. Okay, please be quiet while I give out, announce the announcements or say the announcements. All right, the first announcement that I would like to make. Well, actually, before I say that, I would like to note that there was an ASM before this GSM where all the admins, with the exception of Tom Pears, I don't know where he is, did meet up, and we have made a decision on a new admin to bring in with the resignation of Baron and Alec, and that admin, actually, do you guys want to guess who it is?
I would like to guess.
Amethyst.
I'm gonna guess Mind Man.
I'm pretty sure it'll be Sinra.
Okay. The newest admin is, in fact, Sinra, all formerly known as Mfish. Congratulations, Sinra Silver.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, I'm your first smite.
Yes, of course you are.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, that's good.
Just gonna give you that back.
And the shock wars begin.
Oh yes.
Oh, this is.
Well, that is certainly not shocking.
I see what you did.
All right, now back
okay.
on. No, let's get back on topic.
Actually, Mfish, aren't you a supporter or not?
I am not.
I'm not. Okay.
That probably will change within the next month, but a couple things need to fall in place for that.
Yeah, they had an agreement.
Fair enough. Okay, so yes, Sinra Silver is our newest admin. Yep, I will get all your stuff set up for Sinra later on.
All right.
But yeah, said. There were a few other topics discussed at the ASM. I can't really go into them into too much detail considering the sensitive nature of those. But basically, we did discuss about Mercury. We are going to be installing, actually I'll announce this right now, the beta server. I did install the VPN Guard plugin on there last week, and it so far it does seem to be pretty effective in blocking people from using any proxies or VPNs on there. Autobus, your microphone's a bit too sensitive. Just letting you know there. So yes, so what the plan is that we are going to be, or at least I am going to be upgrading the main server this Wednesday. Probably Wednesday morning my time. It'll be around 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So that's about, I think, like 5 to 7 UTC, if I'm not mistaken. So should take about 2 hours. I'm actually going to say that both main and beta server will be down because I'm going to have to shift over the Discord plugin over onto the main one. So I don't want to. I'm just going to recycle the same channels in that case. So both servers will be down for the most part. Beta might come up earlier. But yeah, after those 2 hours, we'll have a bunch of updates to a lot of existing plugins, but we'll also have 3 new plugins: Citizens, Discord SRV, and of course VPN Guard. So hopefully that'll go well. And yeah, I'm just trying to read through the minutes here. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna say a general thing about this. We've noticed. I'm going to be speaking with some certain players on the server. I'm not going to name them right now, but there have been sort of some instances where players have been arguing with staff, particularly moderators in game, and we are not going to tolerate that any further. If you have an issue with a staff member or a moderator, please go email either the admins or myself. with that. Do not continue arguing in public chat. That just makes that not only doesn't help your case, but it also brings down everyone else and potentially involves them into your argument. So please do not do that. Again, as I said, I'm going to be talking with some specific people about this later on. But yeah, we did have some concerns about. We did also discuss some concerns about backseat moderation from some players. So far, the staff have not really seen any specific instances of this, so we'll be discussing that with some of those certain players also. So moving on, the next thing we will discuss is a proposal from Autobus 22 to change the 300 block rule. This actually took up about 45 minutes of the whole GSM private portion. I did kind of expect this one to be debated quite a bit. We did discuss several different variations of the rule. Basically, the reason for this is there is definitely some confusion about what the 300 block rule exactly means. My intention for this rule was that simply if people are building, if someone's going to build a new town next to an existing town, they need to communicate with the existing mayor if that's okay, if they will be willing to give permission. What we ended up deciding instead is we will be keeping the existing rule that does say that if you're going to build within 300 blocks of a town, you must have the mayor's permission. And in addition to this, the mayor has the right to deny you for any reason from building there. So they have a buffer of 300 blocks where they can deny any other players from building. In addition to this, there'll be a new rule. If you are between 300 and 500 blocks of another town, you need to communicate with that other mayor. And you need the difference with this one is the existing mayor, however, cannot just say no to you. In this case, they must accommodate the new town in quote unquote a fair and reasonable manner. And I do realize that what fair and reasonable is can be quite vague, but we're going to word this rule in this fashion for the time being. Because again, the intent of this rule is to encourage people to work out their differences and establish borders and boundaries between their towns. And I've noticed that some players have not been very good at communicating with their neighbors. So this rule is in place to try to address that. So once again, I'll repeat, if you're within 300 blocks of a town, and if you're going to try to build within 300 blocks of a town, you must have the mayor's permission, and they can deny you for any reason. And if you are within 300 to 500 blocks of a town, you need to be in communication with the other mayor. And they cannot deny you for any reason. They must accommodate you in a fair and reasonable manner. If you have any questions about this particular rule or concerns, please feel free to let me know in the Q&A and after this. Looks like snipers are ready for the guest that has just arrived. So hopefully we'll find out in a sec. Okay, so moving on. We have another proposal from Talon Plays regarding a change to double warnings. The large part of this proposal pretty much called for changes. Basically, what he proposed was if a player gets double warning, that player, instead of getting demoted to just member, they are in fact just demoted to guest. The reason for this is to prevent any further griefing from that player. Usually when a double warning happens, there are either two reasons why that player has received it. It's either disrespect or blatant griefing. And Talon's proposal was an attempt to try to address that. That part has been, it's a valid point, but the staff don't think I've rejected this part of the proposal, because usually when a player gets a double warning, they're usually highly monitored by the staff after that point. It's very clear that that player is potentially problematic. And if they do decide to do any griefing, it will most likely be caught by the staff very early. So that part has been rejected. However, there is a part in it that I thought was a really good idea. And that is, Talon says that he would like to see some sort of, when a warning is cleared, they need to provide some sort of reflection or some sort of statement of reflection saying like stating what they did wrong, why they will not do it again, that sort of thing. And considering that some players who've received double warnings before and have actually had their double warnings extended because staff are not convinced that they have learned their lesson, I feel like having a reflection statement requirement for these players would be a good idea. So once again, we're not going to make any. I'm not going to make any decisions right now. The admins will be, and myself will be discussing this, but there will be plans, I think, instead of just having double warnings expire on their own. Well, not instead, but in addition to having them expire, we will require anyone with a double warning to provide a statement of reflection on their behavior, and if it is acceptable, then at that point they will be re-promoted back to their old rank. So watch for announcements for that soon. Next up, there was a proposal from LD Shadowlord for enabling tool subcommands for trustees. Unfortunately, this one has been rejected because it was discovered that these subcommands allow players to gain access to blocks that they may not have permissions to. So just be based on that alone. We will unfortunately cannot allow this to happen. So next up, regarding the AFX renovations on the old world. Sorry, what is AFX representing?
Atlanta Fairfax.
Atlanta Fairfax. Okay, so this also tied into an auction, and this was actually a pretty big topic as well. Basically, JPH and Narnia would like to renovate the Atlanta Fairfax Airport on the old world, and typically historically we have not allowed this because we want to try to preserve the buildings on the old world for historical purposes. In this case, the proposal provided by JPH and Narnia, they just wanted to finish the airport. They did not want to expand the airport past its current dimensions. But the other issue with this is if we had allowed this to go through, if we had allowed this to go through, then this would set a precedent. Whereas other players might be able to also ask for these sort of renovations on their airports on the old world. I guess specifically here, we also have not allowed any auctions or transfers, or at least specifically just auctions on anything on the old world. And in order for these AFX renovations to occur, that would require a transfer from Kiwi Rainbow, who is currently an inactive player, to JPH and Narnia. And ultimately, the staff have decided, unfortunately JPH and Narnia weren't there, but the staff who were in attendance decided that we want to continue to not allow any auctions on the old world. If JPH and Narnia can contact Kiwi on their own and have him explicitly transfer ownership of this airport to them, then at that point they would be allowed to continue with these renovations. Again, the reason for not allowing auctions is, again, Old World is meant to be preserved for historical purposes, and if we had allowed auctions on the Old World, that would pretty much defeat the purpose, and people would be changing things quite a bit on that world. So I will be talking to JPH and Narnia to clarify this and make sure they understand this decision. But yeah, that is the current decision as it stands. Is there any staff? Is there anything I missed from this particular topic? Off the top of your head? Hello.
I didn't notice. I didn't
That means
notice
no.
anything.
Yeah,
I didn't notice anything.
Yeah, sorry, this was a bit hard to explain, but hopefully you guys understood that. If you have any questions about this particular decision, please let me know in the Q&A.
We like the project. It's just we don't want to set a precedent of transferring ownership
Of old world builds.
Yeah, specifically on the old world.
Oh, am I not visible? There's a problem there.
No, he's just sitting too far back.
No, he's
Oh no, he's vanished. He's vanished.
Yeah, Ben. Oh, hi there. I've
Amazing
been
job.
talking to a
A voice has been talking.
I am the god of the Republic. Anyway, so all right. So moving on. Yeah, plugin updates. Already talked about this. There was a proposal from LD Shadowlord, also to install a plugin called Journeyman Server. The context for this is LD and some other players have been using a Forge mod client.
Sorry, Frumbles. Journey Map server.
Journey Map server, yeah. So they've been using a Forge client mod called Journey Map Journey Map, and unfortunately, because due to a bug, it doesn't actually map multiverse worlds very well unless a certain plugin is installed, and that is the plugin that in question here. So basically, LD is asking for us to install this plugin as well on the server. Unfortunately, at this point, I'm not really inclined to install a plugin just for a niche, just for a few players and a niche use. So there's actually a question I will pose to you guys later on the Q&A. Are there actually a lot of players using this plugin? If there is, then I would be a lot more inclined to actually install this. But just for a niche use case here, I'm probably not going to be installing this. Next up, do you guys want to reveal this 1J? Do you guys want to reveal this at all, or should we keep that?
1J, which one was?
Absolutely not.
That is not being discussed in the slightest.
Okay.
That is redacted, and it is a nothing.
It is a
There
nothing.
is no 1J.
Nothing to see there. There's no such topic as 1J.
We were always at war with East Asia.
And
What are you hiding?
There's also no 1K. Okay, so moving up to now on to roads. There are 3 road proposals in this meeting. I'm gonna have to remember where these go. There's a proposal for the A61 and B66 proposed by MC Builder 400. This is a road that extends from where exactly? I think it's like.
It's like a tiny town on a peninsula south of the Estival Sea.
Yeah, it is it crosses the Estival Sea. It goes from around where the desert line turns toward the west, somewhere around there. And it crosses the whole Estival Sea all the way down to the southern portion of the map. It's a very long distance. Just based on that, we have rejected this proposal because that is way too long of a distance. And also, my MC Builder did not specify exactly whether that route would be underground, underwater, or whether it would be overground and hop between several islands. We would suggest to MC Builder, if he's listening, if they are listening, that a better route to connect a road down there would probably be from the Arctic biome. Like there could be a shorter underwater tunnel or bridge that crosses from that Arctic biome to the east toward that area. So this proposal has been rejected.
Also, the particular small stub section that was proposed as segment A, that was really short and didn't go anywhere, so it didn't really make sense to build that by itself.
Yeah, it would only make sense if the crossing was actually built in the first place. So that one's been denied. The other 2 road proposals have been approved. These are both B road extensions. The first one is B54 by Time to Make My Move. This one is near the town of Genesis and Venceslau. The other one was B750, an extension proposed by SBDev to cut across the desert around whatever that town is. I'm trying to remember. Sorry.
Glenbrook.
Glenbrook. Yeah. So it crosses south of the Avella Airport, past east of Glenbrook, all the way to the Desert Line. This road will actually provide a more direct connection to the southwest portion, southwest cities of like Espoo and Waverley and Daneburg, without going through.
Illinois.
Damn, I can't remember your city's name anymore.
Illinois.
Illinois, yes. My brain is dying. Anyway, yes, Illinois. So yes, so once again, both B54 and B750 have been approved. Moving on to projects and events, we have 2 events proposed by Talon Plays. The first one is a PvP tournament. This one, the funding request has been approved. Also, as a note, Yoshi and some other staff will be trying to test the PvP Arena plugin to see if it is actually working anymore. So if that can be used for this tournament, we will let Talon know. The next up is also a MGA season opener, golfing tournament, also proposed by Talon. This has been approved as well. The last item on Section 3 is the Nymphalian Canal. This is north of the town of Nymphalia at EN, whatever it is, EN23. This canal has been partially approved. We will allow you, so proposed by Soa Puffball, so we will allow Soa Puffball to build the eastern side of this canal only. We don't see any reason why the canal should go right through that peninsula, because it's not, ships can simply go around it. But we will just approve the eastern portion only. Next up is property auctions. I'm going to go straight to 4B since 4A was the FX. C91 will be going to Sinra Silver. And NE9 St. Anna, previously owned by Red Bear. There were actually 2 proposals to this town, and both of them have been rejected. The reason for this, the proposals were not very detailed, and also even though Red Bear has just been inactive just for 3 months at this point, we may be trying to contact him first to see if he is going to return at all. We do have a way of contacting him at the moment. Next up is 4D, the T38 Hull Arbor proposed by Burn Cow. This has been denied. Burn Cow had told, well, the auction itself has been denied. However, Burn Cow has had contact with the original owner of this town, Rom, whatever his name is, whatever numbers he has on at the end of his name.
419.
Yeah, we would like to ask Burn Cow to simply get Rom to email staff about this, stating that he is transferring ownership to Burn Cow, and if he does that, then that town will be his. So. And finally, we have a proposal from Eldranster 50 for the ownership of V23. This has been denied. Even though his town is close enough, we would like to see, his roads are close enough to that town. However, we would like to see more buildings in the vicinity of his neighboring town at V22 first. So, Eldranster, please build more buildings in that area, and then please request the ownership of V23 at a later GSM. All right, so that's all the auctions. Moving on to Premier City Reviews. There has been one that actually we missed from, it was actually submitted way long ago, but we missed it in the original when we were planning this meeting. But we have one for the city of Kiris by Heaven Angel. Staff have taken some time to vote on it, and this has been approved. So Heaven Angel, even though he's a mod, Kiris is now the newest premier city on the server. Also, Heaven does owe us a speech of some sort, whether in text or verbal form, so we will be harassing him for that. And also Lalaboy apparently went inactive, somewhat conveniently, and he also needs to provide us a speech of some sort for his town of Kessler. So yeah, if you see both of these, please go tell them that they need to provide a speech for their premier city. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
They'll be demoted again.
Yeah, probably that. One last item before we go into Q&A. The next GSM date actually has already been set. The next GSM will be on Saturday, June 16th at the usual time of 7 p.m. UTC. It is actually on the events calendar on the website, so you can take a look there. Once again, next GSM, June 16th at 7 p.m. UTC. And that is all things I have to announce for today. All right, so now this is where the Q&A and open floor begin. So once again, I'll remind you guys how this works. If you have a question, comment, or concern, please do not PM me it directly. Instead, I'll be taking turns. I'll be calling on you, and everyone will be taking turns to get a chance to speak. So if you want a chance to speak, please either PM me in-game or send a message in Twitch chat, or send a message in the voice channel, text channel on Discord. I'll be monitoring all three of these areas, and I need to make a list of people who want to speak, so hold on one second. Okay, Talon, I got you. Talon, you don't have to post in both Discord and in-game. That doesn't make sense.
My bad.
Also, please keep any non-serious questions or any silly questions till the end. I will be answering those later, but I want to go through important and serious questions first. Okay, Mojang, I got you. I got you. Okay. Okay, first up, I'm going to go with Mojang Chan.
Alright, so do you have like any plans for line extensions?
I don't think in this meeting we actually did not discuss any extensions at the moment. I don't know if staff can comment. Again, it's based on any staff members who are building stuff. I believe Gods is still continuing to build the southern line, I think.
In progress, just slow progress right now.
Expo West line will be extended soon. I need to just figure out a final alignment for it, and it will happen probably starting this week.
Okay.
Because I was just like wondering like when the Mesa line extension is going to start.
The Mesa line would probably be under the purview of Thomas Fife, since he was the original builder, and I do know that he had plans of extending that line. So if you have any questions regarding the Mesa line, I would suggest contacting him directly about it.
Okay.
So yeah. I think there's any other extensions happening. So moving on. Next is Talon Plays.
So I have a couple questions. First off, for the double warning reflections, does this apply to the current cases in L5 Python? And
sorry, I missed the last part of your question. Are you saying the whole reflection thing, would that apply to existing double warnings?
Yes,
is that correct? I would say yes. Yeah, right. I would definitely apply them to those cases. Yeah.
All right. Second off, for the PvP tournament, what exactly is the PvP arena plugin? How does it work?
You can probably go search on Google. It's fairly easy to search.
Right.
It is the plugin that we actually use a long time ago to actually run PvP tournaments. It's always been installed here, but due to some bugs that Yoshi discovered, it kind of fell out of use.
So, what's it called again?
If you do /plugin, it's called PvP Arena.
Yeah, PvP Arena, all one word.
Thank you.
So yeah, feel free to go look it up on its bucket or spigot page, and you can get a list of commands on how to use it. Again, this is assuming that we can actually get the plugin to work again. So,
is Fife still alive? He has been out for quite some time now.
Thomas was actually in the GSM, and he is still alive. I will say that I think he's been quite busy. and he hasn't had a chance to be hasn't had a chance to play Minecraft. So yeah, I'd still contact Thomas Fife anyway. If he does not have the time, then it's possible that he could give it off to another staff member if they are willing to extend the Mesa line. But yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just keeping track of all the people I have on my list. Talon, was that all your questions there?
Yes, that was.
Okay, cool. Next up is KittyCat11231.
The new rule that players with double warnings have to provide a statement of reflection to get their warning cleared. Is that being implemented immediately or no?
Nope, not immediately, because that's something that probably the admins would have to discuss. And we actually thought up the idea. This is how it worked. We had the ASM, and the GSM happened, and then inside the GSM we actually talked about the reflection part, and then, well, the admins have to go talk about it at some other point. Yeah, I'll probably be heading this off. I need to define what should be in that reflection statement and all that sort of stuff. Like, what they need, like things like, do they understand what they've done wrong? A statement saying that they won't do it again. That sort of stuff. So
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll let you guys know when that comes into effect.
All right.
Don't worry about that. Next up, next is Zomygod High 5. I don't think he's not in Discord. So Zomygod, can you just PM me your question on one of these mediums here? Oh, here it is. Zomygod says, for the 500 block rule, if the owner of the town has been inactive, would we still need to make an attempt to communicate or no? I think in that case, yes. You should at least try to communicate by some reasonable means, like using in-game mail, definitely, if you can. All we're looking for is just a good effort on your part to communicate with this person. If they are in fact inactive, then at that point, I would involve staff at that point, or maybe submit a town auction if they're really inactive. But yeah, I hope that answers your questions. Oh my god. I think there's a stream delay, so I'm actually just watching here. Oh yeah, I should turn my music on.
Insert elevator music.
The sound is off on my mic.
Would anyone like a soulful rendition of the Jeopardy theme?
No.
Stop.
Yes.
Stop.
Sure.
Oh yes.
Okay. Zomygod says it does. Thanks. All right. Next up is Autobus 22.
I had a question about the double warnings thing. Would that also apply to people who just have 2 warnings for separate things?
That's
or
a good
for
question.
people that have a compound double warning, that's a double warning given for instance, 4 or 5 offenses that are smaller. That has happened in the past.
Yeah, that wasn't explicitly discussed, but because it's mainly supposed to be for specific double warnings where people get disrespect and or for griefing. I would say I think it would apply for single warnings in 2 different instances, because at that point, if you manage to accumulate that many warnings, there's definitely something wrong in that person's behavior, and that I would say they would also have to make a reflection statement on both of those incidents.
Because that is 2 warnings in a month, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. So
wasn't the time 2 months?
No, if you get a single warning on yourself, that's a 1 month there, and then in order to that warning lasts for a month. So within that month, you have to get a second single warning. So in that sense,
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering my question.
Okay, no problem. Moving on, Python has a couple questions. I saw that scroll by in game. So Python, if you could PM me with that. Is there anyone else that I might have missed? I don't see anyone in Twitch chat who's... Oh, I see some silly questions ready to go. Oh boy.
Yeah, Frumple, I do have some stuff I'd like to talk with you about.
Okay, is this... Yeah, okay, we will do that afterward. But yeah, if you have any further... There's another call. If you have any further serious questions to ask, please post. Please say PM me in-game or on Twitch chat or on the voice channel Discord channel, and I will add you onto the list. If we don't have any more serious questions, I'll probably move on to silly questions, and I'm not going to have fun answering those.
Yeah, I was going to say, in which case, God help us all.
Yeah, Fred, I see you're not. All right, Fred, I see your silly question request. I will note that down. I see you.
But Frumple always sees you. You should just get
Python
that clear.
says, would my town near Vela not now be legitimate with the rules as I have communicated with Vela and will try to further do so? Unfortunately, in your case, Python, it's already been agreed. Oh, geez, where am I getting... Did someone turn on the record?
No, that's just random noises that happen. Oh, yeah, someone did play a record. Why is someone playing a record?
Why is someone playing a record? Police! Guards!
Fun is not allowed.
Find that record.
Music and fun are not allowed here.
No, record, no!
Someone's firing at me. Oh no. I'm under attack. Okay, anyway. So Python, no, I don't think that's going to apply here because we've already made the staff have already made a judgment with regard to this. You have agreed to move your town, and I expect you to follow through on that. LD has explicitly said he does not want your town within that area. I will also say that initially you did not communicate with LD, so I think that counts against you there. So I would like you to move your town from that area. And looks like there's a second question from Python, so I'll answer that in a bit. Kitty, oh, I see some other city questions. Minecrafter 11, got you. And Kitty has a less than serious question. Oh boy, I can't wait. Okay, Python, you got... Oh, here comes the second question. Python says, what is happening with F15 P17? Because it was going to go on auction, but nobody expressed interest. We're going to leave F15 and P17 as is. If someone wants to request an auction or request in an auction for that in a future GSM, it'll still be open for that. But yeah, why are people... Stop the damn caps. So yeah, so F15, P17 will remain open for auction if someone wants to request that in a future GSM, as I said. So yeah. Python, does that answer your questions? If it does, then I'm going to move. If it does, then I'm going to probably move on to silly questions after this. And apparently, I'm still under attack. What's going on? Mods, protect me.
1 minute, someone's fine.
Okay. All right, let's go on to silly questions. Assuming there are no other serious questions here. Fred, what is your question? I'm not sure where to look on. Do I look in game or do I look on Discord? Probably in game. Fred says, could you review my wonderful music and share your extensive thoughts? What music are you referring to?
I think this is going to be Fred Bob Sponge Pants, or whatever that was.
Yes.
Fred Bob Sponge Pants?
Yes.
No.
What is going on here?
Seems to be people smacking a music box.
Boy. The 2 ad songs? Fred, I I think the lyrics are quite interesting.
And that's going to be it for our MRT News Channel coverage of the GS. And that is it. Thank you for watching. Forget that you can follow MRT News Channel at MRT_News Channel for the latest headlines. There will be more tonight on the MRT News Report here on the MRT News Channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the top of the hour. And for those of you watching on Box, most of you will be going to your local news. Thank you and good night.